Investcorp takes a 50% stake in a $4.8 billion infrastructure business, and Arab OPEC ministers hold talks in Doha. You're watching the Daily Brief with Forbes. I'm Ramia Faraj. Bahrain-based Investcorp has acquired a 50% stake in the $4.8 billion infrastructure business of U.S. firm Corsair Capital. The transaction was completed via the establishment of a new entity, Investcorp Corsair Infrastructure Partners, which is jointly owned by the two companies. The new entity comprises the infrastructure business's existing funds, investments, and teams, which will continue to focus on a scalable investment strategy in transport, logistics, and associated infrastructure subsectors. Investcorp has $50 billion in assets under management. OPEC's top Arab energy ministers arrived in Doha today for the 12th Arab Energy Conference. It comes as countries clash at the COP28 summit over a possible agreement to phase out fossil fuels. OPEC Secretary General Haytham Al-Ghais, in a letter, urged OPEC members to reject any COP28 deal which targets fossil fuels rather than emissions. Saudi and Russia are among several countries insisting that COP focus only on reducing climate pollution and not on targeting the fossil fuels causing it. China's State Power Investment Corporation is investing $5.85 billion in northeast China to produce fuel from hydrogen produced from wind power. The projects include a 3.5 gigawatt wind power plant, a 164,000 metric ton per year hydrogen making facility, and 400,000 tons per year each of sustainable aviation fuel and methanol. There's no clear timeline for the project, but the SAF plant is slated for first fuel in late 2025. The technology involves blending hydrogen with carbon dioxide derived from corn-based ethanol. More than 90% of China's existing new energy vehicle models will continue to receive tax breaks on purchases. Officials say pure electric cars should have a driving range of at least 200 kilometers per charge, while plug-in hybrid cars should be able to run at least 43 kilometers on electricity. In June, China unveiled a $72 billion package of tax breaks over 4 years for EVs and other green cars as it seeks to boost auto sales growth. TikTok will invest $1.5 billion to acquire a controlling stake in the e-commerce arm of Indonesia's GoTo Gojek Tokopedia. The partnership will see TikTok acquiring a 75.01% stake in GoTo Tokopedia for $840 million and merge its Indonesian TikTok shop business with Tokopedia. That merged entity will run the shopping features of TikTok's social media app in Indonesia. TikTok has committed to invest over $1.5 billion in the entity over time. And that brings us to today's Forbes Real-Time Billionaires ranking, which tracks the daily wins and losses of the world's wealthiest people. Our biggest loser today is Indonesian petrochemicals billionaire Prajogo Pangestu. He's down $2.3 billion, now with a net wealth of $52.1 billion. Our second biggest loser today is Francois Pinault, down $359 million, now with a net wealth of $31.3 billion. And our third place loser is bottled water mogul Zhong Shanshan, down $343 million with net wealth of $63.1 billion. Check out our website and our social media for all of the latest Billionaires news. And the UN is making a global appeal, calling on donors to contribute $46.4 billion next year for humanitarian aid to countries ravaged by conflict, natural calamities, and economic crises. In the coming year, the UN says it aims to help 180.5 million people affected by various man-made and natural calamities in 72 countries. The UN says it's narrowed its scope of humanitarian assistance by meeting only the most urgent needs of people impacted by armed conflict, climate emergencies, and deteriorating national economies. I'm Ramia Faraj. This is the Daily Brief. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.